Yo, what up, guys? It's your boy Predict Pulse. Make sure to check out the link in the description. Get yourself $5 free. Just have to make a bet using your boy's code. DM me on Instagram. I'll get you the free $5 credited to your account. Anyway, we've got uh, Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2024 play-in. Let's start off with Flyquest versus Big. Now, Flyquest versus Big. Uh, we've got Flyquest who had a bit of a resurgence when they went back to to Australia, and then they started falling down again. They can't seem to find themselves versus European teams or versus even versus US teams. They lost to Liquid. Yeah, I don't. I'm not feeling too comfortable with them. Big, on the other hand, had a good showing versus Virtus Pro a couple of weeks, maybe a week ago. They then lost to Na'Vi, but these two teams have played each other before, way back in May, I believe. And Big did beat Flyquest 2-0. Now, I believe that since then, Flyquest has kept the same roster, whilst Big has had a roster change and a Rigon coming in, and I do believe that this Big is stronger than they were. So I do believe that Big do have what it takes to take this game here. So I'll be going Big. Next, Mongolz versus Saw. Now, for me, this one is complicated, to be fair. Um, Being Portuguese myself, I kind of want to take Saw. And what I'm going to end up doing is doing two parlays, one with Saw, one with Mongols. Because realistically, especially lately as well, Saw have been more reliable. They've been attending more tournaments. They've been having more reliable results. Saw is more of a team that they can they can do it, but will they? Most likely they won't. They seem to choke at a lot of a lot of tournaments where they shouldn't choke. We know how it was with the majors. Um, so I kind of expect Mongols to take it, but I'm hoping Saw will take it. That's why I will have two parlays. If you take the biased away, I would probably say Mongols should take this. Then we've got Heroic versus Made in Brazil. I believe these are two teams that have played each other before as well, back in May, and Heroic did take it again, 2-1, I believe it was. So there is potential for an upset here, but we haven't seen Made in Brazil play versus anyone from outside of South America for 2 weeks now, and when they did, they lost all their games versus Complexity, Spirit, and Mongols. Um, Heroic, of course, they've played recently. They had to play in with a stand-in because Dexter couldn't make it to the tournament. And I don't know if he's going to make it to this tournament either. So it's very dependent. You kind of have to wait to see if he does make it to the tournament. If Dexter is going to be playing, then I do fancy Heroic here. If not, then if they play with their manager, they're still capable of winning. But then I'll leave it up to you to make that call. Um, then you've got Bet Boom versus 9Z. Um, this one, you've got Bet Boom who came off. I mean, the last time we saw Bet Boom play was about 8 weeks ago, and they lost to Australis 2-1 after beating Complexity, Big, and Eternal Fire though. So Bet Boom are good. Bet Boom are in a good spot, but we haven't seen them in so long. 8 weeks is 2 months. Whilst 9Z, we only also have two games from a week ago where they lost to Monty 2-0, but before that they had that really good tournament where they beat Liquid and Mouse and Vitality, and then they only lost to G2. So I do believe in 9Z's potential, and I will be taking 9Z here. Following that, we've got Complexity versus Alternate Attacks. This Alternate Attacks team is kind of unproven to me. I don't know much about them. I don't see a lot of potential here, but Complexity is so shaky that I'm going to take them, but it's not like I feel as comfortable as I should. I should feel really comfortable about taking Complexity. I don't, but I'll still take them because they should. They just should win. Eternal Fire versus Falcons is a tough one because you want to take Falcons. You want to take the super team, right? But I'm not trusting Falcons until they win or at least have a good performance at a major tournament, which they haven't had yet. So I don't trust them. I would rather bank it on Eternal Fire, who have played Falcons and beat them already. But this was all the way back in February. Um, but I'm still going to take Eternal Fire here as the more reliable squad. You got Furia versus Imperial. I have to take Furia. I like both squads, but Furia should on paper be the better team. So they should be the better team on the server. Of course, things can happen. Someone can have an off game, but Furia should still make it through. And then last but not least, we've got Pain versus Liquid. And Pain versus Liquid. I mean, Pain are on a 14 match win streak, but of course, all of that is versus South American teams. Liquid, though, have come into the last tournament going completely insane, beating Virtus Pro 2-0, beating Navi 2-1 twice uh, with this new lineup of theirs. Of course, this can be honeymoon period, but I still believe Liquid should win this. So with that being said, here are my parlays. We have the one with Saw, where I skip a few games and I take Big, Saw, Heroic, Complexity, Liquid, and Furia. And then I have another parlay. It's a bit, a little riskier. Big, Mongolz, Heroic, 9Z, Complexity, Eternal Fire, Liquid, and Furia. So on the first one, I feel like I eliminated a lot of the risk apart from Saw. Saw, of course, is the underdog, and you don't expect them to win. So you're kind of banking on that. But then the rest, I feel pretty confident on. Whilst on the second one, on the bigger parlay, there's a lot of risk. We don't know if Dexter's going to show up. 9Z, we don't know. Eternal Fire versus Falcons could go either way. So those are my parlays. Those are my predictions. Thank you guys. Peace.